Tonight on NAIT NewsWatch.
One local man's mission to educate the public about how to react to bullying.
Begin to think about not acting as an individual, but acting as a group.
Business students were given 72 hours to create a working business model and pitch it to professionals.
Each group of four picked 2 ideas to present to the whole group, and then we all had to each give out 2 votes for which idea we wanted, and that's how we ended up with the teams.
And Edmontonians are urged to keep their Christmas lights on longer this winter.
By all means, take down your Santas and reindeers, but leave some of the others.
NewsWatch starts now.
Good evening. After a brutal beating incident on the LRT, a local man is trying to rally up Edmontonians to stand up and step in against bullying.
By empowering victims and shedding light on the dangers of being a passive bystander, he hopes to make our city safer. Kayra Mueller joins us live with more on this story.
It's something you don't expect to happen to you or to even have to witness here on the streets of Edmonton. But random acts of bullying and violence can happen anytime, and that's why it's so important to know how to intervene safely.
It was 2 years ago when Manwar Khan was witness to a brutal beating on the LRT, an experience he finds difficult to forget.
I think what triggered me to intervene is when I thought about my kids at that moment, and I thought the same thing can happen to my kids.
He did his best to intervene, yelling at the attacker to stop, but the beating continued and no other bystanders offered to help.
When I tried to intervene, I expected that other people would join me.
His experience is what inspired him to start the Don't Be a Bystander campaign and to hold a candlelight vigil every year.
The vigil will take place here at the Alberta Legislature this evening to honor the victims of bullying and to show that Albertans are taking a stand against acts of intolerance and violence in our communities.
Bullying is not tolerated at NAIT, and it, along with 3 other schools in Alberta, are following Manwar's lead and are attempting to be proactive.
We are a multicultural school. We've got lots of different opinions, people from different backgrounds. When you throw those into a big pot, there's always room for tension or for intolerance. And so we want to really encourage that sense of community and open conversation.
Almost 60% of the time, bullying stops within 10 seconds of bystander intervention. Often the biggest problem is not knowing how to properly react in these situations or how to intervene safely. Experts suggest intervening as a group, and if not safe to do so, to contact the authorities immediately.
I think one of the best thing that we can do is begin to think about not acting as an individual, but acting as a group.
Manwar hopes that no one else has to experience a trauma like his to be able to understand the negative consequences and guilt that come as a result of turning a blind eye to someone in need.
Manwar is trying to share his message of safe communities and tolerance and invites everyone out to the vigil after the show tonight.
So Kayra, why is it that so many people turn a blind eye when they see something serious happening?
Well, the expert I spoke to said there's actually a social effect going on that a lot of people don't realize. You're actually more likely to intervene as an individual than if you experience something in a group setting because of a diffusion of social responsibility.
Now, if you can't make it out to the vigil tonight, what else can you do to show your support?
All you have to do is turn on your porch lights between 6 and 9 p.m. tonight to show your solidarity with the campaign.
Thanks, Kayra. That's Kayra Mueller reporting live from our news center tonight.
NAIT NewsWatch, the next generation of news.
There is no question that the prevention of drunk driving is important. In fact, for Edmonton City Police, it's imperative. Students at Ross Shepherd High School focused on the dangers of drinking and driving as Edmonton Police joined in a simulated roadside sobriety test using Ford Motor Company's innovative impairment suit. Students were given an opportunity to experience the physical limitations associated with high intoxication.
Now I learned my lesson to the fact that never ever drink or drive, because if you do so, accidents will happen and you might injure someone. Give or take, you might kill someone.
Ford's campaign educates youth on the consequences and dangers of impaired driving. They promote the importance of a designated driver as well as licensed taxis.
With Halloween falling on a weekend this year, the City of Edmonton is taking precautions to make sure citizens find a safe way home. Edmontonians are reminded to stay safe when taking a taxi this weekend as bandit cabs are on the prowl. Residents are encouraged to ensure their safety when entering a licensed or unlicensed cab. The city's licensed cabs are easy to identify by a couple of unique features. A licensed cab will have a fully displayed meter, a City of Edmonton inspection sticker, and unit number decals on the vehicle's side panel, as well as back bumper.
Of course, the party areas, White Avenue and Jasper Avenue, are typically the areas that these illegal cabs run.
Anyone who has refused a ride or witnesses any other problematic behavior can call 780-496-5244 or visit edmonton.ca/bandit taxis.
Be careful where you park your car, as Edmonton's seasonal parking ban takes effect now that winter is on its way. It's a feeling we know all too well. Even though snow is yet to really hit the city, 4 Edmonton communities will be test cases for a new way of removing snow. The plan is to move all parking to one side of the street in an effort to increase accessibility for residents in the neighborhood. Police are warning drivers to be aware of the change in parking procedure.
When they're on there, you need to be cognizant of where they are, because otherwise it's a place you could have parked all summer, and then all of a sudden when snow bans are on. So I would make sure wherever you're parking, if you're on there, that you're aware if there is a snow ban in place.
Several neighborhoods will be affected by the ban, such as Crestwood and West Jasper Place. The ban will begin to start up November 1st.
A new initiative in Edmonton aims to help lighten up this winter.
Quentin Berger joins us live from his roof with more on the story.
You're probably wondering why I'm setting my Christmas lights up at the beginning of November. Well, it's all part of Edmonton's Winter City campaign.
Edmonton's winters can be long and unpleasant. This year, residents are being urged to leave their lights up past Christmas to boost morale during a season that seems to last forever. The idea grew from the city's Light Up the High Level Bridge campaign. The city hopes to have Edmontonians seeing them not as Christmas lights, but more like winter lights.
By all means, take down your Santas and reindeers, but leave some of the others out. Is a really low-cost, low-energy way, and yet high-impact way, to really make our neighborhoods more beautiful.
Lights can already be seen in various locations around the city and will continue till Christmas and well over into the new year. Yet some Edmontonians have mixed reactions about the initiative.
For those who can afford to pay the power bill, awesome. They look great. And
nothing looks worse than Christmas lights when there's no snow and it's just sort of like February 3rd and there's, trash and dust rolling down the alley.
I know that might be a problem for electricity.
However, the city argues it's a small price to pay to brighten up our winters, which usually only get about 10 hours of daylight. Information about Edmonton's Winter City campaign can be found at edmonton.ca. And maybe with every resident lighting their house up, Edmonton's winters will seem a little less bleak.
Thanks, Quentin. That's Quentin Berger reporting from his roof.
As Remembrance Day quickly approaches, it's important we remember to honor our veterans. There's no better way to do so than to don the poppy this November 11th.
It's a symbol of our past, of those who fought, and especially those who gave their lives.
Regardless of the recent attacks on Canadian soil, Edmonton Mayor Don Iveson spoke to the public about the importance of wearing the poppy. While security is expected to be increased at Remembrance Day ceremonies, the poppy campaign will go ahead as scheduled.
I travel a lot for work and I carry a pocket full of poppies, not a plane I sit on that we don't make sure everybody's wearing the poppy.
You can donate to the Greater Edmonton Poppy Fund by visiting the Edmonton Legion online at www.donations.poppyfund.ca.
Several young entrepreneurs were given 3 days to start a business empire of their own. NAIT hosted 3-day Startup, a learn by doing workshop which challenges young entrepreneurs to discuss, develop, and create a company of their own. Participants from NAIT, Grant MacEwan, and the U of A formed teams on Friday and quickly began the brainstorming process. Ideas developed over the weekend and were soon ready for critique from business mentors and professionals alike. Originally placed in groups of 4, the teams had to vote on ideas and work together to create the perfect pitch.
And then each group of 4 picked 2 ideas to present to the whole group, and then we all had to each give out 2 votes for which idea we wanted, and that's how we ended up with the teams.
This was the first time 3-day Startup has been held in Canada and was a great experience for all aspiring entrepreneurs.
There's reason to celebrate here at NAIT as the school was recently ranked as one of Canada's top research colleges. The school's recent rise in funding benefits not only students on NAIT's main campus, but rather one of the school's 5 institutes around Alberta. This applied research addresses the industry's need for relevant solutions to relevant problems.
The funding for the research is incredibly important to NAIT because it allows us to do things that we otherwise couldn't do. It allows us to try and bridge the gap between research, innovation, and new venture.
NAIT placed second among Canadians' research colleges as funding for the school is extremely important for its technology-based learning.
The City of Edmonton has launched a unique new project in Mill Woods called a living wall, which could be a greener alternative to concrete walls. This project uses natural resources like soil, wood, and willow shrubs to create a graffiti-free and environmentally friendly barrier between homes and traffic. Drainage Services plans to build a stormwater pond to help with flood mitigation. However, this plan will require removal and replacement of the existing berm.
Because to expand the dry pond here, we need to remove the earth berm that's currently in place, and that earth berm provides the community with a sound barrier as well as a visual screen from the traffic on 91st Street and White Mud Drive.
The Living Wall program encourages people to come down and see for themselves the difference it makes. Go to www.edmonton.ca/livingwall for more information.
Coming up after the break, we take a look at winterizing vehicles for the upcoming season.
And find out the best ways to do that on a student budget.
There's still winter tires to try and meet every budget.
Coming up in sports, I got ACAC Women's Soccer Championships, the Ooks basketball season kicks off, and I try my hand at barrel racing. How does it go? Stay tuned. Let's go.
Hi, I'm Bailey Sheets. We had a really nice start to the weekend with a great night for trick-or-treating, and it's looking very mild to kick off November. I have all of those details coming up in weather.
We had a beautiful night last night for Halloween.
Yes, let's hope that continues. Bailey Sheets joins us now to tell us what we can expect going into November.
Yes, we had a wonderful end to October with no snow sticking around just yet, and that's looking to continue into the beginning of November. So we're going to look at Calgary first, and they have a beautiful day coming up tomorrow with a high of 7 and a low of -2, but that's just going to be in the morning. Now we head to Jasper. It's a little bit cooler in the mountains. They start out at -5 and then warm up to 0 in the afternoon, and it's going to be totally sunny in Jasper, so it'll be a beautiful day. Fort McMurray, they have a little bit of clouds. It's going to be -4 in the morning, warming up to 4 degrees. And now for Edmonton, tomorrow's going to be a pretty nice day. It's going to be -2 in the morning, warms up to 6, and it's just going to have a couple clouds in the sky, but pretty sunny other than that. The averages for this time of year are a little bit cooler than we're at now. It's -4 for the average and 4 for the average high. So yeah, we're a little bit higher than that. For records, the record for November 2nd is -22, which happened in 1949, and the record high is +22, which we hit in 1991. Remember to roll your clocks back on Sunday morning at 2 a.m. for the end of daylight savings. This will give us 1 extra hour of sunlight and also 1 extra hour of sleep tonight, so keep that in mind. This has been your look at NewsWatch Weather.
Watch Weather, sponsored by NR92, the station for the students.
The first snowfall of the year has most Albertans scrambling to put on their winter tires.
But often at a costly price. Is it affordable for students living on a budget? Evan Kirby has more on this story.
With winter just around the corner, automotive shops are seeing an increase in business, with customers wanting to change to the proper tire. The impending hazards of a typical Edmonton winter has reminded people of the need to winterize their car to deal with the unpredictability of the weather. Rick Engel, the manager of Kingsway Trail Tire, believes simple year-round maintenance can help prepare your car for the constant grind of the winter months.
We charge $99.95 for winterize, and that's an oil change, and then we check the whole car over. And something should be done almost twice a year anyways. So it's what we find in that inspection.
The process for winterizing your vehicle is standard for Albertans, but as budget-conscious students, are there affordable winterizing options?
There's many kinds of tires to fit every budget. A winter tire compared to an all-season tire is night and day driving in winter conditions.
Companies have tried to combat the need to switch tires yearly and avoid unnecessary car maintenance costs by offering an all-seasons tire that attempts to reduce the hassle. But is it as straightforward as it seems?
All they've basically done is taken a winter tire and called it an all-weather. So people can sit there and say, oh, you just need one tire to make it year-round. The mileage that I've seen people get out of them aren't that great.
While varying prices provide different qualities of tire, students have affordable ways to winterize their vehicle. Evan Kirby, NAIT NewsWatch.
Joining us now for sports is our Tim Evans.
Tim, the female Ooks went into provincials with a perfect record.
Yeah, they sure did, Aaron. Looking to fly high is the NAIT Ooks men's basketball team, who just kicked off their season last week. With 2 season wins so far, Coach Mike Connolly says there's still work to do.
We're okay. I mean, we just started to get together. We're just starting to play. We're not playing nowhere near our potential, both defensively or offensively yet. We got a long way to go to improve, but we're getting there. And we're lucky to come out with our a sweep last weekend against Concordia, but we play Kings this weekend, and we have to be focused better defensively, and we have to do a better job executing our offense.
The Ooks are in Red Deer, ready to face off against the Kings tonight at 8 o'clock. Last weekend, the NAIT Ooks hosted the Women's ACAC Provincial Soccer Championships at Jasper Place Bowl. The Ooks fought hard and earned themselves a spot in the semifinals against the Grand Prairie Regional College Wolves. The Ooks immediately took control of the game with a shot that just landed wide of the net. Then, just minutes later, Alicia Ellick hammers the ball into Wolves territory. Goalie Reagan Clark not able to catch the ball. Laura Couts right behind and rockets the ball in for the first goal of the game. 10 minutes later, Ooks Kayla Michaels with a controversial goal. Let's take a look at that in slow motion. Michaels kicks the ball, ricochets off the top, but just over the line enough for a goal. 2-0 Ooks. Kelsey Langhill dances with the ball and gracefully gives the NAIT Ooks 3-0 lead over Grand Prairie. Ooks score 3 more in the second half, making it a 6-0 game, pushing them to the gold medal game. The Ooks took on the Medicine Hat College Rattlers. The weather cooperated for practice, but unfortunately it wouldn't last. Skipping to second half action, wet snow was blanketing the field as both teams tried to score the first goal of the game. The snow made for some epic slides. This one I bet Beckham would be proud of. Ooks Cecile Novell kicking it off the boundary, the ball flying right into the thick of things, head butted just wide of the net. Then Novell kicking it to Laura Couts, fires it off to the net, deflected to Kelsey Langhill. She scores the first and only goal of the game. There was nearly a second, but Laura Couts fell victim to the slush-covered turf. The Golden Girls topped off a perfect year, winning every game they played. Head coach Carol Holt says the game was a tough one for both teams, but the Ooks are psyched for nationals.
The footing was horrible, big clumps of snow in the players' cleats that it was difficult to clear off. They couldn't see because the snow was falling so heavily.
March 22nd, 1989. St. Louis Blues were playing the Buffalo Sabres. Steve Tuttle of the Blues and Hugh Krupp of the Sabres became entangled while chasing the puck, sliding into Sabres goalie Clint Malarchuk. Tuttle's skate blade caught Malarchuk's neck and severed his carotid artery, a major artery from the heart to the brain. Now, Clint is opening up about the experience and the after effects in his new book, The Crazy Game. The former Edmontonian visited Audrey's Books on Jasper Avenue on Thursday to promote his new book.
I wrote it, I didn't write it for me, that's for sure, because it was so hard to write. It was so hard. I wrote it to help people. The feedback that I've got since the book has come out has been phenomenal, and it's relieved a lot of the anxiety that I had, before the book came out.
Clint's words of wisdom to those struggling with mental illness are spoken right from his heart.
Talk about it, get it out, get help. It's not a weakness. I think that's the big message. It's not a weakness, it's a sickness.
With the Canadian Finals Rodeo coming up, I felt it would only be appropriate to try out a rodeo sport. I traveled to Chelsea Farms by Gibbons, Alberta for this week's End Zone Challenge. I'm with Pam. Pam, thanks for being on the program today.
Thank you.
So what am I doing today?
You're gonna barrel race.
Barrel race. Am I gonna die?
No.
Okay, comforting words. I promised my girlfriend I wouldn't, so that's good. So who are we with today?
This is Emily. She's 8, and that is Rip. He's 24.
Rip. Nice to meet you, buddy. Alrighty, so let's hop on the horses and you want to show me the ropes?
Sounds good.
After saddling up, Pam went around to show me what to do.
We go to the right, so you do 1 to the right, and then 2 to the left. And if you hit a barrel, it's 5-second penalty, but you want to be as fast as you can.
Then it was my turn. Rip didn't want to go faster than a trot, so let's speed this up a bit.
No, you're gonna run into the barrel. I'm gonna take these wide. Let's go. There we go. Pulling the trailer nice and wide. There we go. Let's go. Oh, I gotta take these wide, remember. Home plate, let's go. Let's go. So, how did I do?
Not too bad. A little bit more speed and you'll be fine.
After my trot, Pam showed me how the pros do it.
So, do you guys think I'm CFR ready?
Tim, I think you might need some more practice.
And probably a faster horse, too.
Yeah, that would help.
Coming up after the break, Lydia and I got a chance to play with cats and dogs for a good cause.
We head down to the SPCA and spend some quality time with the animals.
Well, volunteers are a big part of what we do here at the Edmonton Humane Society, obviously.
Hi, I'm Taylor Dennehy, and coming up in entertainment, I'll show you some of the cutest cats at the Edmonton Cat Show, give you a sneak peek into the new hilarious play at the Citadel, and finally I've got some cool prizes to give away for the new movie Interstellar. All of that and more coming up after the break.
Hair services provided by Salon and Spa Rocks.
This week, Lydia and I went down to the Edmonton Humane Society.
We got a first-hand experience of what volunteers can expect when applying for the SPCA.
Well, volunteers are a big part of what we do here at the Edmonton Humane Society, obviously. We have around 900 active volunteers.
Volunteers can work in any department, from feeding and walking the animals all the way to cat cuddling. Our job wasn't all that hard, though, as we were sentenced to man the cuddling department. There's always a need for volunteers, especially with winter approaching.
But we also, want people to be aware with the weather changing that we want to make sure animals are safe.
If you would like to get involved with the Edmonton Humane Society, visit edmontonhumanesociety.ca/menu/volunteer for more information. Tonight in entertainment, we get a sneak peek into an exciting new show at the Citadel.
And you can have a chance of winning some great prizes for the new film Interstellar. Taylor Dennehy has all that and more.
Until November 16th, you can catch the hilarious play, One Man, Two Governors. In the hands of director Bob Baker, the show is guaranteed to bring down the house every night with its slapstick humor and plot with countless twists and turns.
The show is quite simply the funniest show on the planet, and it will make everyone laugh. I challenge them, come and see the show, and they will laugh. The music fills all the set changes, so there's never a moment where the audience is sitting and waiting for something to happen. Something is always happening, and it's colorful, and it's big, and it's joyous.
Written by Richard Bean, the play takes us through the struggles of character Francis Henshaw, who is fired from his band and searches for employment elsewhere. Francis becomes employed by two different men and does everything in his power to keep the two from meeting. Mixed all together with these chaotic events comes a hilarious show suitable for all ages. The third annual 24-hour gaming marathon in support of the Stollery Children's Hospital Foundation came to Edmonton last Saturday at the Northlands Expo Centre. Mayor John Iveson and Alberta Liberal leader Raz Sherman attempted to one-up each other before they faced off in a game tournament hosted by Extra Life, a fundraising initiative for Children's Miracle Network.
On behalf of Andrew, who's been trash-talking me all week here, and all of my city council colleagues, yeah, we're going to remember that at budget time.
Don, I got to say, weren't ones in my area provincially, so you're messing with Andrew, you're messing with me as well.
4 special guests participated in the battle to kick off the marathon, and check out Iveson's game face as the battle heats up. Gamers from around the world band together, pledging donations and gaming all night long for their local children's hospital.
We've got, over 150 people here today raising money for the Stollery. They've already broken their $50,000 goal.
The program has raised over $5 million this year and will likely raise more money in the coming months. The Edmonton Cat Show Fanciers Club hosted their second show of the year at the Ramada Conference Center this past weekend. Cat lovers from all over joined together to showcase over 125 cats of all breeds. Breeders and owners compete for points and ribbons for cutest cats, best personality, and to see if their cats meet the standards for breeders across Canada.
If you're, curious about it, or you have a cat, or you might want to get a cat, it's a good place to see the different breeds and basically the cream of the crop, because you'll see the best of the different types of breeds of cats.
Although these cats are part of the elite cat class, they are definitely still cats who enjoy cat-like things, some even dressed in the cutest costumes imaginable. To attend the show, you can always check out the club's website to see upcoming dates. Coming to theaters November 7th, you can catch the much-anticipated film Interstellar.
We used to look up in the sky and wonder at our place in the stars. Now we just look down and worry about our place in the dirt.
In the film, a group of explorers make a use of a newly discovered wormhole to surpass limitations on human space travel.
Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage, rage against the dying of the light.
All right, Enrique.
Yes, you are.
Directed by Christopher Nolan, this film features A-list cast members including Matthew McConaughey, Anne Hathaway, and Jessica Chastain. I have some very cool prizes to give away, including one free movie pass for the show for 2, a promotional hat from the film, and even some badges. Anyone who can tell me one of the numerous parts of Alberta that Interstellar was filmed in will receive these awesome giveaways. Just tweet at NAIT NewsWatch with your answer. And that has been your look at entertainment.
Well, Lydia, how much Halloween candy did you eat last night?
I didn't get a chance to eat much candy as I was busy handing out to the trick-or-treaters.
Oh, well, that sounds awesome. Me, myself, I went out and had a good time too. Well, that's it for this week's edition of NAIT NewsWatch.
Thanks for watching.